Hello and welcome to the Medical Affairs Dialogues. We are back with another pertinent question. Is AI the catalyst that transforms clinical research, or is it just holding up the mirror to expose the flaws that were already there? We'll know more about it from our guest today. Our guest for this episode is Maryna Todoriuk. Hi, Maryna. Welcome to this episode.
Hi, Bratati. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pleasure. So, let me introduce you to my audience first. Marina is a drug development expert with 13 years of global experience across strategy, execution, and clinical programs. She's known for viewing clinical trials as strategic systems that drive efficiency and value. She also authored a book offering an insider perspective on the clinical research industry. Thank you, Marina, for being part of this episode. I am really excited for this particular episode.
It's really a
Our
pleasure to
topic
be.
for,
Thank you,
yeah,
Bratati.
absolutely. Our topic for today is clinical trials at a turning point. Is AI the catalyst or just the mirror? Before we go any further, Marina, it's a tradition in our podcast that we pause and we kind of open the stage for our guest to share their experience, their career journey with my audience. Share with us the challenges that you faced and how did you navigate through them?
Sure, Bratati. My career has been a very intentional journey from operational depth to system level thinking. I started in clinical research at site level as a study coordinator, where I gained a very real understanding of patients, protocol, execution, and the every challenges of running trials, of course. That experience grounded me. It showed me how clinical research actually works beyond theory. From there, I deliberately expanded across the ecosystem, moving into global trial management, strategic roles, and business development. I wasn't just looking to grow vertically, I wanted to understand the full architecture of clinical trials, how decisions are made, and how value is created, and where the system breaks actually. What makes my journey different is the combination of layers I built over time. I have a foundation in medicine and pharmacy, which allows me to understand the biological patient side of trials. I added management and strategic experience to operate at the level of decision making. And critically, I developed deep expertise in quality standardization and certification because I realized that in global regulated environment, innovation without standardization simply doesn't scale. And the biggest challenge I faced were not technical, they were systemic. And clinical trials operate in highly fragmented environment right now, where multiple stakeholders, sponsors, CROs, sites are often just aligned operationally, but not strategically. It often found myself, and I often found myself in the situation, where scientifically sound ideas were difficult to implement because the system itself was not designed for operational decision making. So instead of trying to solve problems not only at the execution level, I made a conscious shift toward influence and system thinking. I invest in understanding how decisions are made, how to align stakeholders, and how to position myself closer to strategy rather than delivery. And today, I don't see my role as managing trials. I see my role as contributing to how clinical be designed, optimized, and scaled globally, especially as we enter this AI era. And this is also why I am now preparing for a PhD focused on standardization of AI in clinical research, because the next evolution in our industry will not depend only on technology, it will also depend on our ability to make that technology structured, reliable, and trusted across the system. So it's my journey and my challenges that I face and resolve, of course.
Wow, what a journey. I'm so happy that you shared it with my audience because many might, from today onwards, after hearing you, might look at clinical trials in a different way and may shape their career just the way you have done. And you might inspire so many people. So thank you for sharing that. I can't wait to start the curated questions that I have for you today. So, to set the stage for our conversation, Marina, I want to tell you that in my past career, I have been a pediatric oncology scientist and I have been involved with clinical trials in the oncology space myself. And hence, I found very interesting that you are carving out a path where you are a visionary in it. And I wanted to talk to you about it in more detail. And hence, this question. And I also want to say here that there are so many important questions, but I want to start with one of the most important questions and straight away. So, AI is accelerating processes, but it also makes long standing inefficiencies and biases in trial design more visible than ever. So, my first question to you is AI truly transforming clinical trials or simply exposing inefficiencies and biases that were always there?
Thank you for the question, Bratati. You know, both, but the second is actually more important. AI is not just a transformation tool, it's a mirror. It is exposing inefficiencies and structural fragmentation that have existed for the decades, such as overcomplicated protocols, poor site selection logic, under representation of patients' population, or manual Excel-driven decision making. AI forces us to confront a critical truth. Clinical trials were never truly optimized systems. They were just functional enough. So yes, AI will transform trials, but only for organizations willing to redesign the system, not just digitalize it.
Very true, very true. And I agree with you. Say, simulations can reduce cost and time. We know that. We are seeing that. Then, out of curiosity, I'm tempted to ask this: if AI can simulate trial outcomes, do we still need large scale human trials, or does that undermine scientific rigor?
We absolutely still need human trials. Simulation can augment decision making, but it cannot replace biological reality. AI can optimize trial design, it can predict risks, it can improve probability of success, but it cannot fully capture such things as complex human variability or long-term safety or real-world biological responses. So if we replace trials with just simulations, we risk losing scientific rigor. So the future is not replacement. It's hybrid intelligence. AI reduce uncertainty and human trials validate truth.
Love that response. It's a hybrid model. Human take in charge, and AI reduces the mundane, the routine, or the more risks that it had earlier. Love that. So you said, like you said, AI has the potential to broaden participation, and I see that. But it may also replicate bias if trained on historically unrepresentative data sets. And I've spoken about this with one of the top medical affairs leader who works very closely with a PAC group, patient advocacy groups in Daiichi Sankyo. And hence, I'm curious to know your perspective. Can AI actually improve diversity and access in clinical trials? Or does it risk reinforcing existing health inequities?
AI can do both depending on how it built. It trained on biased databases, and it will scale iniquity faster than any system before. But if designed intentionally, it will identify underrepresented populations, for instance, optimize site selection beyond traditional geographies, reduce access barriers through decentralized models. The key question maybe is not technology, it's governance. AI doesn't bias, it amplifies what already exists.
Yeah, hold on to that response. I have more questions to ask deeper in governance, but um, I want to ask this question. And what appears from our discussion is that AI is going to take a larger role in decision making at a later time point as we progress. So then this question will become even more pertinent and even more critical. And my question is, if an AI system designs or optimizes a trial, who is accountable when outcomes are flawed or harmful? Because when the outcome is positive, everybody wants to take the credit. But what will happen if a system or a trial has been optimized or designed by AI and it doesn't turn out the way we predicted or we thought it would be? What happens then?
Yes, and AI does not remove accountability. It redistribute it. Ultimately, accountability still remain with sponsors, such as strategic decisions. Of course, according to GCP, it's a rule we need to follow.
Yes.
Clinical leaders, decision oversight and design oversight, regulators, approval frameworks. But we need a new layer, algorithmic accountability. This includes transparency of models, traceability of decisions, clear validation frameworks. AI can support decisions, but it cannot be the final decision maker in healthcare.
Love it. Love it. So, you rightly mentioned, and this kind of piggybacks on that response, control over clinical data is shifting. And you know it, I know it. So, there is a ripple effect in pharma, tech firms, and patient rights. Who owns and controls the data powering AI in clinical trials? And how does that shift power across pharma, tech, and patients?
And this is one of the most critical power shifts happening right now. Historically, pharma owned the data, CROs executed, and patients contributed but had no control. With AI, tech companies gain influence through infrastructures and analytics. Data becomes the core asset. The future will likely move toward more patient centric data ownership models, stronger data governance frameworks, strategic alignments between pharma and tech. Who controls data controls the future of clinical research. I have to admit that.
Wow. Okay. That's scary at the same time. Very, I'm excited to see the shift. So now we'll change gears and let's talk about regulatory affairs a little bit. Regulatory frameworks are still evolving, and I'm very sure they may struggle to keep pace with the speed and complexity of AI driven innovation that's coming or that's happening now. Are regulators prepared for AI driven clinical trials, or will governance become the biggest bottleneck? Please elaborate. I want to know your perspective, and I know you have a lot to say on it.
Yes, we can see significant shift, but unfortunately not fully prepared at this stage. Regulators are evolving, but slower than technology. The biggest risk is not lack of regulations, is misalignment, because innovation moves fast, governance moves cautiously. And in the short terms, regulation will be a bottleneck. In the long term, it a competitive advantage for companies that engage regulations early, build compliant AI systems from the day one. So first of all, we need to fix the system and then to apply AI, and of course to be aligned with all the regulations. But at this point, it's very slow shift, unfortunately. But we can see the progress, of course, and it will be evolving rapidly.
Yeah, I'm waiting and I'm giving a watch. So I truly believe this, that speed always does not translate or directly translate into better outcomes. And hence I'm raising this question. Are we building a smarter, patient centric trials or just faster versions of the flawed system? What are we doing right now?
Right now, mostly faster ones. And speed is the most first layer of transformation, of course. Quality is the second, and redesigning is the third. And many organizations are automating already existing processes, not rethinking the underlying models. True transformation will only happen when the shift will be from protocol-centric, patient-centric, system-centric design. So we need to follow those steps in order to be not only fast, but with high quality in clinical trials.
Wow. Okay. So this is my last question to you, Maryna. This is a futuristic question with a long-term repercussions. In 5 years, will we still need project managers coordinating fragmented systems? And you mentioned this in the beginning. The system is fragmented. Or will AI become the central orchestrator of trial design, execution, and decision making? Please elaborate. I really need to know this.
I love this question. Thank you, Bratati. Yes, but the role of PMs will be fundamentally changed. AI will replace manual coordination. Luckily, we are hoping for that, that it will be happening soon. And it will replace some kind of reporting, fragmented tracking, but it will elevate strategic orchestration, decision making, and cross functional leadership. The future project leader will not be a coordinator, but a system architect. And the AI will not replace them, it will become their most powerful collaborator. And the real question is not whether AI will transform clinical trials. The question is, are we ready to redesign the system, or will we simply automate its limitations? So I truly believe that we work in industry with human for human, and AI, it's a great tool, but we need to learn how to navigate it and how to use it productively and how to build proper systems.
Beautiful. In medical affairs, also, we are saying the same thing. The human will be in charge, AI will be the support, the tool that will help them elevate and architecturalize their vision and not replace them. So on
Absolutely.
that, I am so happy to hear that in clinical trials, in medical affairs, we are singing the same song, we have the same vision, and that's huge for the healthcare system, the innovation that will come for tomorrow. So thank you for highlighting all these important aspects, and I'm thrilled to hear your responses.
Thank you so much, Bertati. It's really a pleasure to be on your podcast today. I really appreciate your time, and it's nice to see you. I wish you very good luck, and really open to any future meetings, collaborations, and uh, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Maryna, for really uh, highlighting the role of AI in clinical trials today. Thank you so much for bringing all the information that you brought to this session. So, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all for joining us today. The question is AI the catalyst or the mirror in clinical trials? And I think the answer is, and Marina will agree with me, that it's both. AI was never designed to fix clinical trials on its own. Maybe it wanted to force us to confront the broken system that we always had. With that, we close this session. Until next time, stay tuned, stay informed, and stay engaged.